hello. I am extremely sorry that I am late doing this, but it's charged to my head, not my heart. It's final exam week, and I still have so much more to do. But today, on the 25, going on the 50 podcast, today we will be talking about relationships. Now, some people who are listening to this are probably married or probably single or in a relationship, engaged, here, whatnot. For me personally, I have never been, I don't think you can necessarily call those relationships, even though I'm 24, I'm about to be 25 in October, and life has been, interesting for me. I never truly had relationships. I had situationships, but we ain't gonna get into that. But actually, we will get into that because this is the relationship episode 2. So, have you ever seen someone or been with someone who you felt was, attractive and you wanted to see what they would like, everything, and just see where life will take you? Sometimes we get into relationships with people and we never fully know their end goal. Because sometimes there be people who say they want a relationship, but technically they still just want to be single, but they want the relationship benefits. Like, especially if some people who are listening to this have actually watched Divorce Court. And there was this episode recently that I saw where this man, he met this woman and he was still married, and technically he said he was going through a divorce, and he was constantly, cheating on her. But they got together and he cheated during the marriage, and basically when he saw that she did something that he didn't like, he up and left her and went back to the ex-wife. But the man in question couldn't bring it to himself to say he didn't want to be with her anymore. And the Judge Starr, basically had to tell him, if you don't want to be with her, tell her. Let her be free. Let her do the things that make her happy. But you not telling her the truth is not helping her in the long run. And I fully agree with her. He had to tell her the truth, because the more you lie to people, especially with me in particular, the more you lie to me, the more I don't believe anything you say. Because if you lie to me one time and it could be something small, later on down the line, I really will wonder if anything you told me about our relationship was true. There's nothing wrong with telling somebody your expectations, because some people might label that as too pushy or too arrogant, but it's nothing wrong with telling someone that they should treat you the way you want to be treated. Because I always said, in the beginning of when you're dating someone or you're in the talking phases or whatever, they always try to pinpoint what they can and cannot get away with. We can look at celebrities for a perfect example. If you watched SV and Escape Still, Queens of Reality R&B TV show, and now recently things have come out about said couple, and I thought it was interesting because someone, I forgot where I watched this, and the person said that they tried to holler at the other sister first, but the other sister knew, I kind of say she knew the love of a man because she was still in her daddy's life, regardless of how the mama might feel about it or the other sister feel about it. She knew what she deserved and what she would and would not put up with. So he knew she wasn't going to be an easy mark like she couldn't be manipulated. And that's what sometimes people, men, women, everybody in between will look at. What can they manipulate you with? Because when you think about dating, you have to treat it like a wild cat in the savannah, or even a dog, which would be the hyenas or the wild dogs. But they're all in that same branch. They always look for the young, the injured, and the old. Because when you get that particular group, you have like a 90% successful rate. Unless it's a particular family, then you ain't gonna have a good success rate as you thought you would. But I say that to say this. There are people who go off of, they talk to you and they try to see what weaknesses you have. Even though I know someone who listens to this, like, so I can't tell if you got weaknesses. Yes, they can. Somebody can tell if you have low self-esteem, or you don't love yourself, you're a rebel or whatnot. Because that's one thing, when you in your teenager years, you go through that, oh yeah, he loves me, or oh yeah, she loves me. But technically, sometimes that might be true, but then yeah, they can gotta get stuff out of you. That goes for both male and female, because there have been women who have played on men's heartstrings to get something that they wanted that they could normally would get. Because there have been people who have asked their significant other to take a life for them, and then the person who did it automatically feels remorseful, because that's what they realize, that that person never loved them to begin with. That person was only with them to see what they could get out of them. When we date people or even have relationships with people, we have to be honest about what we want and what we expect. Even though, like, we might have closed ourselves off to love, or situations where it kept us from loving someone. I have been in tons of situationships where the person I thought liked me, but they really didn't. They liked me in that moment, but after it was said and done, I never hear from the person again. Sometimes I might, it depended on the person. But one person in particular I'll never forget, it was Thanksgiving. And this person was talking about coming to see me in school, and we were going to hang out together. Forgive me. And then afterwards, the conversation died. Never heard from this person again. Till one day I just so happened to find them on Instagram and talked to them. They had no idea who I was. But the moment I sent them a picture of who I was, they immediately blocked me. And to this day, I'm like, if you could have just told me that you didn't want anything to do with me anymore, I would completely understand faster than you telling me, than you selling me a false hope. You never sell people false hope, because the same thing can be done back to you, especially when that person basically change their schedule around, see what they can move around just to accommodate your schedule. Even when you have, one night stands and things like that, when people try to move their schedule around, because I've done that before with people. Because like one time I literally missed a class because I tried to make room for this person, and this person didn't really respect my time. And so that's when I made a conscious effort. If if that person wants to see me that bad, they can wait. Because I have other important stuff I have to attend to. I have to get done. So it doesn't matter if that person wants to see me in that moment, because if they wanted to see me that bad, they can wait. And even after they got what they wanted, you still never hear from them again. But at least then you made your own imprint. Because when you truly like someone and you truly love someone, you give that person space. Because I don't mind giving people space, especially if I'm in a relationship with them and they say, "Oh, Devontae, I want to hang out with my friends." I'd be like, "That's fine. Just don't be stupid." Stupid means getting arrested, doing something you're not supposed to be doing, things like that. But if you want to go hang out with your friends, I don't care. Just don't be stupid. Don't be calling me from jail talking about, "Hey, I got arrested." I'm like, "What didn't I tell you not to do nothing stupid?" Just things like that. So if anybody I'm secretly interested in, cause right now, I don't know, I'm just kind of chilling, just going through the exam portion of this semester. It's nothing wrong with taking time out for yourself, because when you take time out from yourself, especially if you just gotten out of a relationship or you thinking about getting into one, you have to see where your grass grows, because you got to know what is a hot button issue for you, what you will and will not intertwine. But when someone see that you fully love yourself, they know that they can't run game on you. People are funny. People are very interesting, because as a good friend, well, I kind of treat him like a little brother, because he kind of like a little brother to me. Even though we never seen each other in person, we would just message each other on Facebook. Till recently, I gave him my number, and ever since then, we've been chatting it up. Sometimes it's never wrong to say goodbye to a relationship. And I hope he don't mind me kind of touching on this. I'm going to give him the heads up before I give him this link. But he was in a relationship with someone who he liked. Well, they've been together for a super long time. And this weekend, they kind of decided, it's just best to be friends. And he told me about some stuff. And I'm not going to say anything, because that's between me and him, because I have to respect that. But regardless of how long you've been together, it's going to take some adjusting to where you be like, "Okay, we just broke up. I don't know what else to do. I'm going to go insane." And I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about in general. Because we've been with somebody for so long. Some people don't know how to be single. And I'm going to test myself, because sometimes I don't know how to be single. Because sometimes not necessarily be single, because I have been single. It's like not entertaining somebody. But sometimes you have to look at, is this relationship serving me purpose in life? Is this relationship worth dying for? Because you know how sometimes some people be like, this relationship is worth dying for, but then some people like, gotcha. That not really worth dying for. That's what I'm saying. You got to look at, is this relationship something you really want? Whether it's a friendship, even though we talked about that like a week ago, or being in an intimate relationship with someone. You have to look at it in the long term of, is this relationship worth it? Yes, that might be the best person you ever been with, best thing you ever had, things like that. But you have to understand, there are like a billion more people on this planet. We're gonna meet somebody every day of our lives. Some for the good, some for the bad, some for the ugly, some just for a lesson. We never know what type of person we're going to meet. But we can never mix up relationship people, friendships with long time expectations, because one thing about it is everybody wakes up with a different mindset. Whether it's good, bad, ugly, it don't matter. We all wake up with a different mindset of, okay, do I really want to talk to this person? Do I really don't? Because I tell you a good one right now. When I went home, there was somebody I saw. There's someone I met Even to this day, I texted them that like last Monday. Haven't heard anything back from them. I haven't texted them since because at the end of the day, it's like, why am I going to keep continuing to degrade my worth and continue to degrade my value over someone who's literally not taking the time out to respond back? Because the person left me on scene that day after we seen each other. After that, the person never really answered my message, even though like they're in school, they're moving, things like that. But the person never themselves answered me back. And now I've accepted it the way that it is. Even though I still have their number and such, I still never message that person because at the end of the day, I'm not going to continue to give someone my time if they're going to keep giving me their butt to kiss. That goes back to what I said. You have to love yourself to know, okay, is this situation even worth me entertaining? 9 out of 10, it could be yes, it could be no, but you never know. But make sure that you're getting with people with the right intentions, because you never know people's true motive and you never know people's family history, because there have been people who are even in relationships who have struggled, with mental illness, and sometimes that person can be, a little off the hinges. So that's where you have to be careful of how you treat people, and then you never know how their family is as well, because some people will tell you, you hurt my daughter or you hurt my son, there's going to be some stuff to pay. So you have to be, extremely careful. So, yeah, that pretty much wraps up this episode, and I'm going to try to get next week's episode out the best way I can. But back to what I said, make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, click the bell, and give me any interesting topics that you think that I could talk about in the podcast. So just let me know, and you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Smile you gave me.